Oh, hello. Welcome to our second class of the Open Music School Guitar for Beginners course. Today we're going to look at strumming. We're going to learn a couple more chords, and we're going to talk about changing between those chords. But first, Mike, my fingers hurt.
Yes, that's the answer. Your fingers hurting is completely normal, and in fact they will hurt for quite some time when you first start playing guitar. And no matter how long you play guitar for, you will always get these amazing little indents there on your fingertips. Good news, that your fingertips will eventually callus over and you won't feel it so much anymore, or at all. So that's good. And either way, in time you'll have awesome fingertips of steel. You'll be able to do pretty amazing things like this. Right here, with these hard, calloused fingertips. Fingertips of steel. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. What?
And dude, my wrists?
No. Your wrist shouldn't be hurting. And if your wrist is hurting, it means that you're straining it. And that's really... So here I am playing a G, and if you notice, I'm not gripping onto the guitar like this super tightly. I'm not straining my wrist, I'm not clenching, I'm not putting any extra pressure on my forearm and wrist. I'm pressing harder on the strings because I want to get a proper sound, but I'm not grabbing onto that neck like this, straining my wrist in the process and leading to future injury. And then I won't be able to play guitar at all. So I'm keeping that wrist nice and loose, my forearm as well, and if I'm practicing proper posture, sitting up shouldn't be a problem. So keep that wrist loose. Loose goose.
Okay, thanks Mike. So I think we're ready for a new chord. And so we know our fingers, we know our strings, and we know our frets. The next chord we're going to learn is called the E chord, and it uses these 3 fingers. Let's start. Okay, so we're going to take our first finger, we're going to put it on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. We're going to take our 2nd finger and we're going to put it on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So we have 1 and 2. We're going to take our 3rd finger and we're going to put it on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, right underneath the 2nd finger. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And with this chord, we can simply play all the strings. That's a powerful chord.
Strumming. All I want to do is talk about strumming right now. And that's what I'm going to do. So when we first start the class, we often get asked about how should I be strumming? What should I be doing? Should I be using my fingers? Should I be using my toes? Should I be using somebody else's toes? And the answer we always give is it doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable with. So if you're comfortable playing with just your thumb, then play with just your thumb. And if you're comfortable using 4 fingers like this, then do that. If you want to use just 1 finger, that's great too. And others prefer to use a pick, a plectrum. Now when using one of these, you take your thumb and your pointer finger and you hold it like this, or you can also use your middle finger, get that in there, and use it as a proxy for your fingers to hit the strings. Whatever makes you comfortable. Play around. That's part of the fun. Maybe you've noticed, but the entire time we've been playing in a downward motion like this. Moving our wrist down when we hit the strings. It's also important to be a bit more versatile and to have different patterns. So another strumming pattern that we're going to use is playing down and then coming up. So we play down and up, down and up, down and up. Now, we would recommend that when you play down, if you're not using a pick, that you use your fingers like this to play down. And then when you come up, it might be easier to use your thumb. But once again, whatever works for you. Great. So now we're going to play E, down and up, down and up. The cool thing about using E as the first example of playing down and up is that we hit all of the strings. So we can't really make any unnecessary noises or mess up. Ready? We're going to play it 8 times. So one count would be 1, like that. So 1, 2, 3, up, 4, up.
Let's do it.
Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, down, up, down, up. Great. Let's talk about C. C might look quite difficult if you're looking at the chord chart, but it's actually not. It's quite simple. Don't let them tell you otherwise. So to play C, we take our third finger, and we're going to place that on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. We're going to take our second finger, and we're going to place that on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, the D string. So my third finger is on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, the A string. My second finger is on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, the D string. Then I'm going to take my first finger and I'm going to put it on the very 1st fret of the 2nd string, the B string. Now if you notice on your chord chart there's an X next to the 6th string, the top E string. That's because we don't play it. We're not going to touch it at all. So we're going to start from the 5th string and play down. Now, while we're not touching the 1st string and the 3rd string, we're still playing those. And if you notice, there's an O next to those for open, because we're playing them open. We're not touching them, but we're still involving them in the chord. And it should sound something like this. Beautiful. That is the beautiful thing about having a chord chart. Now you have all of these chords at your disposal. So whenever you want, you look at that chart and you go, you know what? I watched the video of Mike and Tom and that was great, but I want to learn it on my own. And you can. We want you to. We encourage you to.
Okay, so we've learned a few chords. The next step is playing chords after each other. That's how we make a song. We play a chord, and then we'll change the chord, and play another chord, and that's how songs are written. So we're going to try that with our G and E chords. We're going to do it all together, the way we've done it before. But what we're going to do is we're going to play the G 8 times, then we're going to stop, we're going to find our E chord, and we're going to play that 8 times. Then we're going to stop and find our G chord, and then we're going to play that 8 times, and so on. The idea behind this exercise is that you do it so much that your muscles start to do it without thinking about it and trying to find it. Your body will simply learn this. So, we're doing this all together. You, me, Mike. I'm going to count to 4, and then we're going to start, okay? On the G chord.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and
Stop.
pause. 2, 3,
Find your E chord.
4, 5, 6,
7,
7,
8,
8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and
Find your G
pause.
chord.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and G. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and
Stop.
pause. 2, 3,
Find your E
4,
chord.
5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Great job. Great work. There's a lot going on there. Changing between chords, changing strumming. It will get easier, we promise you. You just need to practice. And actually next week we'll do that again, but we'll start to take that pause away. So you just start to go between the chords. It's possible. Just practice. What else are we going to learn next week, Mike? You old dog.
Next time, we're going to be discussing the awesomeness of minor chords. We'll also be revisiting some classics, and we'll learn how to play a song together.
See you next time.